Welcome back to the White Noise Podcast. I'm Ethan, joined by G Baby.
What's up?
And Jacob behind the glass, as always.
Whoop.
Today, we have an exquisite guest.
Oh, exquisite. Awesome.
My great friend.
Mine too.
Mr. Paul Anthony. How are you?
Woo!
Pina. Last name's Pina.
Government name going in. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
So, Paul, why don't you give us a little rundown of what you want the people to know? The avid listeners. What is it that you aspire to be?
You know
Who
what?
is Paul Pina?
White noise connoisseur.
Yeah. Well, I deliver water,
Let's go.
and I have nothing else to do, so I throw on your guys' podcast, and I enjoy it.
Essential.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
It makes my day a little bit better.
Appreciate you making the flight out from Cleveland.
You live in
Cleveland this time.
We got Malibu. We got Cleveland. I don't know where.
It's in Milwaukee.
Was it Milwaukee?
It was Milwaukee.
It's not important. Oh, well.
Jeez.
I'm a listener. I know
But
that
it's been great. What's been your favorite episode so far?
Dang, you throw that one at me like that? I don't know. I like them all.
What's been your favorite moment then, or one of the ones that you just think about every now and then?
All right, so from the past one, Exquisite has just been stuck in my damn head.
Exquisite. God damn it.
I literally finished that one this morning, so fuck. Gavan's strip club story was pretty great. That was really good.
Gentlemen's Club.
I liked the pants ripping was really funny. That was a good one too. Of course, I like Brett being on here.
Shout
out to Brett.
Jinx.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't.
Awesome. All right. Well, we have a lot to talk about, so let's yee this haw. And we're back. So, real quick, let's talk about the Batman.
The Batman.
Paul, you saw it yesterday, right?
I did.
Well, we all saw it yesterday, just at separate times. So that's
I saw it in the morning.
Monday shenanigans.
I purposely went when no one would be there,
That's when I wanted to go.
and there were still people there.
Our theater was dead. But
I mean, it sounded alive. I mean, the people behind us wouldn't shut the hell up. So, I mean,
Evan was getting really pissed
That's
off
the
about
worst.
that. I didn't even notice it till he pointed it out. So
I feel like that's been in every single movie.
Austin's girlfriend
Yeah,
saw it, so glad she noticed it too.
do you feel seen?
The people behind you?
Yeah.
Or?
Yes, because like nobody else heard it. She's like, "Yeah, I heard him too," and I'm like, "Thank you." Schizo moment. Like, glad I'm not the only one that heard it.
Just real quick, without any spoilers, Gavin, what are your quick thoughts about the movie?
Very good movie. I enjoyed it. Good watch.
Cool. Paul?
I think it was good. It was a good take on a new Batman. I like this detective, but it's one of those movies that it was good, but I feel like I don't need to watch it for a very long time.
I feel the same way. That's what I said about Spider-Man No Way Home too. It's one of those movies I enjoyed, but I have no desire to see it a second time. I thought it was great. It definitely had a lot of strengths. I like the film noir aspect and take on it. The detective Batman. There was some stuff that I didn't like, but that's just nitpicking. But we will review that in the coming weeks and get more into depth with that. Robert Pattinson, where does he rank on your Batman? Out of all the Batman actors, where does he rank?
Ooh.
Like his overall performance compared to everyone else's overall performance.
Controversial? I think he's my favorite Batman. Controversial.
Batman-wise, I'll tell you, Bruce Wayne-wise, definitely not my favorite. Batman-wise, I think he's up there. Yeah, I think maybe top 2. It'd be between him and Christian Bale, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
George Clooney, number 1.
Oh, you want those Batman nipples?
That nip
Those
suit.
duds. Yeah.
They brought back. We can talk more about it in a couple weeks, but I like how they brought back the kind of gritty Gotham, like Tim Burton style.
I think he did great for the way the movie was.
Yeah. Robert Pattinson, terrific actor. Didn't think he was utilized properly in the movie. That's my opinion, and we'll talk about that in the coming weeks.
I can agree with that opinion.
All right, that's the Batman for you. Let's shoot it over to Paul with sports.
What?
Sports guy.
Give me.
So announced today, the Russell Wilson trade.
Yes, Russell Wilson is going to the Denver Broncos, and they're sending the Seattle Seahawks a crap ton of picks and 3 players as well.
Oh my God, there's 3 players?
Yes, 3 players: a tight end, a
Jesus.
defensive tackle, and the quarterback Drew Lock.
They overpaid.
Who got the better deal?
Time will tell on that one, I guess.
The Broncos
Yeah.
made out, or no, the Seahawks made out like a bandit with that deal.
I think Russell Wilson has a couple more good years left in him. Denver was lacking a quarterback pretty badly. I feel like with Russell Wilson, they'll be a little bit better, but I don't think it's going to be a substantial difference.
They're
for
also
the
in
team.
the gauntlet that is the AFC West.
Yeah, they have
So,
to face the Chiefs still.
That's
twice
true.
a year,
And then you got
along with the Chargers and
Chargers and
Raiders.
yeah.
West teams, man.
Wild.
What is Russell Wilson leaving mean for the Cardinals?
Easy
Good,
game.
Good.
but I mean,
Wasn't really
their
a
quarterback
factor.
situation isn't the best either right now.
Oh yeah, it's not okay.
Speaking of good for the Cardinals, Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay, so not good news for the Cardinals.
I was going to say, I was like,
Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay for a 4-year, $200 million deal.
Gosh.
What do you think about that
Does he
situation?
need any more money? My God.
I think I saw something where it was the highest paid in NFL history.
I think it's just a principle at this point. Like he said in the beginning, he's like, people are coming here to play with me, not to play for Green Bay.
True.
So I think he's just got a statement to make.
Yeah.
Well, where does he rank in like comparison to like Dak Prescott when it comes to pay? Do we know? Because I thought Dak Prescott was up there too.
The official numbers haven't been signed. There's reports that he hasn't actually signed anything
Okay.
confirmed yet, but that's what's been reported. But
Okay.
nothing's official yet, so we don't know the exact numbers.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers.
That's so huge.
We've talked about sports in the past, specifically the Pro Bowl game and how awful it was for the NFL. Pro Bowl, All-Star games.
People watching it more. I mean,
The NBA All-Star game, like the dunk contest, did poorly.
It always does, I feel like.
Paul, being the expert MLB guy, compared to everyone else here, what's
resident baseball expert.
what does the Major League Baseball organization do for All-Star games?
Gosh. All right, so I feel like everybody needs to take a page out of that book. So the way that it works is it's an actual meaningful game to where the winner of either the American League or the National League gets to host the World Series. I feel like if they made, some stakes at it, like with it, it will definitely, spark some more competition and actually make it more fun for the fans. I forgot who said it last time, but the Pro Bowl is for the players. That's actually a really good take on it, but I think if they developed that MLB style All-Star game, I think it would be a lot more unique, better. The only issue with that, though, is that it's always held in the middle of the year, so you could be an All-Star halfway through the year and then make it, and then you can really do really well at the end and not make the All-Star team. So that's the only wishy-washy part.
Okay. Yeah, but I think it gives it more stakes to affect your season rather than an event to be held for fun.
Exactly.
Like, make it competitive and fun. The only thing with the NFL is you don't want to risk any injuries. But if it's for your team for the season, then you'll play harder,
Also,
possibly.
just because the Super Bowl is also held in random states.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already predetermined.
So this is a little off topic. When it comes to sports, what sport do you think has the most athletic athletes? Like when it comes to American sports, like let's say NHL, MLB, NBA, NFL. Like out of those 4 ones, which ones do you think have the best overall athletes?
What do you mean by athletic?
Like just athletic ability, like running, like stamina.
Probably-
Who do you think has the most stamina?
Stamina, that's
Stamina's
different
different,
than athletic.
yeah.
Soccer.
Soccer.
So athletic is in like if you put a football player in a basketball team, how will he do? Or athletic is
Like if you were to switch them around, like who do you think would perform better? Like if you were to put NFL and MLB or whatever, like just all around, who do you think is
MLB.
has the better athletes?
I think you throw a baseball player in any sport and they're going to compete, but you take any other athlete in a different sport and throw it in baseball, and I don't think they really have a chance.
I think baseball is so like motor skill dependent and like
That's
practice and
It's very routine.
Yeah.
It's very like if you don't see 95 getting thrown at you every day, it's going to be like, what is this?
Right.
It's true.
So if you throw someone who's, doesn't matter like how athletic they are, you can throw LeBron James, $1 million diet. It's going to be like, what the hell is this?
Exactly. But it's like, here, take this ball, try to put it in that hoop. I'm going to try to stop you. It's like, okay, I think I can do that.
Straightforward, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. I didn't even think about it like that.
I think the most amazing like type of player is probably like offensive linemen.
Yeah.
They are
freaks.
built different.
They're freaks.
See, like the 40 times from offensive
Oh
linemen.
my
this
god, they
past
run
week.
faster than probably I ever have.
I only ask because it's like I wondered. Like, I had a I had a thought in my head the other day. It was like, what would happen if you put like just random like NHL player or NFL players and you just put them in a hockey match? Like, do you think they would perform really well?
I don't think they make skates big enough
And
for
so you
them.
can skate, I know.
Poor ankles.
I just thought it'd be a fun thing to watch. Like,
I think
MLB
each
plays.
team has its strengths.
I don't know, the MLB team plays an NBA team in a hockey match or something like that. I just thought it'd be funny.
Yeah, the basis for like athleticism is like speed, strength, which football
Endurance.
is like the basis of that.
Yeah,
100%.
So that's just the natural way.
All right.
Football supremacy.
Oh. Yeah, offensive lineman, that's a good one. I'd go at the other end, too. Defensive linemen.
They're
The
scarier.
same thing there. Because they have to get past the offensive linemen.
Just like
Aaron,
freaks and
Aaron
measures.
Donald,
Jeez.
huge. That's different breed. That
Yes. Yes.
Then you got golf.
guy is. Golf.
Oh, don't even. They're so good. Athletes.
Golf, I feel like they're the best at baseball compared to any other sport. It's not baseball.
Yeah,
They're the best in
most
every sport.
most baseball players are good at golf.
I wish I was good at golf.
Me too.
I get blisters on my hands.
Yo, pro golfers versus an
Soft
NFL
hand.
team in a football game? Who wins?
Golfers easy.
Golf is what every retired professional athlete goes to play.
That's what happens when they get knocked out of the playoffs. Josh Allen.
Oh. Damn, you're a Bills fan.
I'm a huge Josh Allen fan.
Do you want
too.
to talk about that? Wanna?
Yeah.
Wanna
Okay.
express that?
Actually, I do
Hashtag
have
overtime rules?
I don't really care about the overtime rules, but I do have a little nitpick. When Jacob talked about the New England and Buffalo Bills game playoffs, he said, "Well, there's not much that went about that game. That game was boring." The Bills literally broke records for the perfect offensive game, first one ever. 7 straight scores, 7 straight touchdowns.
That's pretty good.
That was like 2 months ago. You holding on to that?
I did.
It's not like a game, though.
It was a good
If I was a
performance.
Bills fan,
It was a
like,
good
oh,
performance.
that's epic. That's
Good
so
performance.
cool. But it's like, oh, I want to watch a good game then.
Then I'd watch the Bills and Chiefs
Go
game.
to a different channel.
That was a really good game right there.
That was a nail biter.
If I turn on a game and it's Cleveland versus
Giants.
the
Ravens,
Chargers,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, Cleveland's up like 48-3. It's like, okay, I don't want to watch this. Bouncing.
Yeah, but no one's ever seen a perfect offensive game before.
We have, though. The Bills did it in the playoffs against the Patriots.
Now we have.
Oh, there you go. So it's not going to be exciting again.
That's true. Now it will be. Now it's not.
There's always next year, buddy.
I don't want to be that guy, but there is. I am going to the Super Bowl since it's here if the Bills make it.
Yeah.
You know how expensive a Super Bowl ticket is?
You know how much I'm
God.
putting on the Bills to go to the Super Bowl?
Oh,
That's going to pay for my ticket.
What happens if you lose?
At least I can say I tried.
You don't have to go to the Super Bowl.
I
then,
got a
guess.
cool story. But this will be the cheapest Super Bowl that we could ever attend because we don't have to pay for a room. I could just walk there.
that's true.
You just pay for the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
All $6,000 of it.
Damn.
But to see the Bills win the first Super Bowl, I mean,
Or lose again.
at least I was there. That'd be cool.
Lose the fifth. That's why I'm scared for any team to play the Bills in a Super Bowl.
Because they have to
Coming
win
years,
because
it's like
Ravens
it's
would be
bound to
beat
happen.
them again.
Ravens would be fine. They'd be fine
What about the Ravens? Why'd you bring up the Ravens?
because they'd be fine.
Fine with what?
Beating the Bills.
They're both AFC.
They lost 2 years ago. It was
Playoff.
at D&D. Remember that? I got really drunk that night.
I remember. You don't.
I don't remember D&D, but I remember that game.
Speaking of,
Want to get into that?
nah, we'll do the movie.
All right. Speaking of stuff.
Speaking of movies,
Speaking of movies. When do we talk about movies? Speaking of
we talked about it earlier.
segues, the movie this past week was Encanto.
Thanks to Gavin.
Thanks to Gavin.
You're welcome.
Paul, did you watch the movie?
It's pretty good. Fuck no, I didn't watch the movie, bro. To be fair, never mind.
Don't even feel bad. I have a
don't.
6-year-old daughter. She loves that movie. I still haven't seen it.
Dude, even if I had a kid, I wouldn't watch that.
I've seen the beginning like 10 times, but I've never finished it.
I know, I watched it this morning, like 9 a.m.
I thought I had
that
time.
was the 10th time. Yeah.
I thought I had time to watch it. I didn't. It felt more. It's like homework. It's like I wanted to do it, not because like I enjoy doing it, but because I didn't want to get in trouble. But it was like so yeah. So, just,
All right. So Gavin, overall thoughts? What'd you think?
Thought it was really good. Thought the songs were catchy to a point. Good animation and good rewatchability.
Okay. What I thought was almost the same thing.
But
Well, the songs, I don't think they had much replay value. They were more used for storytelling, and the visuals during the songs were great. Some of the best Disney visuals in music. For example, the surface pressure, where Luisa's singing about, the weight on her shoulders, literally, was very reminiscent of a Friend Like Me from Aladdin.
It was.
the craziness of it.
Yep. Like just the craziness.
Okay.
The visuals of it was reminiscent of that. Not the song.
I was gonna say.
So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the songs to an extent. I don't think they were like any of them were super catchy. Not even we don't talk about Bruno, which is apparently super popular. But yeah. I didn't think it was that catchy. I thought they were great for progressing the story and telling the story. What I really enjoyed about this that Disney movies have kind of strayed away from is they didn't do like this whole big adventure story. They kept everything in the confines of like their own home while still making it seem so grand because it's a magical house. And it gave them more time to focus on the characters, and each character had like their own moment to shine.
I'm so happy I didn't watch this movie.
Why?
Just after that explanation. I has no interest at all.
Well, Gavin picked it, so he's going to be suspended from picking movies from now on.
As he should be.
Flag on the play.
He's going to be suspended for a week. He's not picking next week's.
I will say that animation for Disney movies has gone like way up in the past few years. I've been blown away by like just how everything looks.
Yeah, and the visuals in this movie were phenomenal. Okay. All right. Why are you laughing at me, Paul?
You're staring at me as you
They're
say
great.
it. All right, so I actually don't really know much about any Disney movie.
Any Disney movie.
Any Disney movie?
No, I barely watched any of it. My favorite one is Alice in Wonderland. Patrick hates me because he plays songs all the time, and I never catch on to like the Aladdin songs.
Damn.
Wow.
You haven't even seen like Aladdin?
It's maybe once, twice.
Lion King?
The old one?
Hercules?
No, not the cartoon version.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wait, you've seen the live action one though?
Yeah, I was forced. There was 3 other people.
I was tied down to a chair, forced to watch it.
All right. Gavin, where does it sit on your Gavi Wavi meter?
I'm gonna give it an 83%.
83%. Okay. I'd give it an 80%.
Nice.
Right there.
Nice.
It was good. It's a kid's movie. I don't have a desire to watch it again. I might, because it's cool, but I don't have a desire to watch it again. If it's on, I'll sit down and be like, oh, this is nice. I did get kind of emotional throughout the movie. It was very tugging on the heartstrings,
Ah, yes.
especially with the one person in the family that doesn't have any powers, feeling like an outcast. It was like, oh,
Oh, middle child
child syndrome was coming out.
So
Yeah.
could you relate to that?
It was good. Would I watch it again? Yes.
You just said
Yes. Do you have a movie for next week, Ethan?
Next week's movie is Memento by Christopher Nolan, one of his early works. Let's see if his earlier stuff is better than Tenet. Probably it is, because Tenet was garbage.
Damn.
This has
Another
been
Robert
this has
Pattinson
been
movie.
another Robert Pattinson movie. Yes, this has been your weekly reminder that Tenet was garbage.
So it's funny because out of all these podcasts, every single movie you guys have talked about, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to see that. I want to see that. It's such a great movie. The one movie that I do not care to ever watch is the one that I get to be.
Gavin, what movie were you gonna pick before Encanto?
This is gonna be the last duel.
I don't know what the hell that is, but it
What's
sounds
that?
way better than Encanto.
Sounds way cool.
The only reason I strayed off of it was because it was going to be that, and then Jacob was like, "We just said we weren't going to watch any movies like really over an hour and a half," and the last duel was like 2.5 hours.
Oh my!
I just mentioned the runtime.
So
and
then I was
you're
like,
okay,
"Ah,
let's do
okay."
Encanto.
So then I was like,
what?
okay.
I don't know Memento.
If Jacob hadn't said that,
Okay,
I
anyway.
would've kept it with Last Duel.
Excuse me. Okay, it's my fault. Memento from 2000, mystery thriller. It's an hour and 53 minutes long, nearly 2 hours. Leonard is tracking down the man who raped and murdered his wife, Dark.
Awesome.
The difficulty, however, of locating his wife's killer is compounded by the fact that he suffers from a rare, untreatable form of memory loss. Although he can recall details of life before his accident, Leonard cannot remember what happened 15 minutes ago, where he's going, or why.
Damn.
Interesting.
I had no idea what it's about. I've always heard about it, but no idea what it's about. Christopher Nolan does like killing women, so
Oh,
you know.
What the heck?
okay.
In almost a lot of his movies, there's a dead woman.
Really?
You know, Memento,
there's a pattern
dead
there.
wife,
Name one.
Batman Begins, Martha Wayne,
Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
Dark Knight Rises, Rachel dies,
Name another one.
Talia al Ghul.
Talia al Ghul,
Do another one.
Inception, Leonardo DiCaprio's wife, Tenet. While she doesn't die, her ex-husband is trying to kill her
Correction, in Memento, she is raped first.
and
then
killed. There you go.
So, different. It's different.
What is it? Oh crap! The I don't know. There's a movie with Hugh Jackman and some other dude. Michael Caine's in it. It's about magicians, and that has a dead woman in it. The
Greatest Showman?
Dead wife. No, not The Greatest Showman. 10 out of 10 movie though.
That's what I was thinking of, to be honest.
I always forget the name of it. It's it starts with a P.
Phenomenal.
Jabe, look it up.
I don't know. Christopher Nolan still?
Yeah.
All right, I'll look it up.
So
Stand by.
look forward to Memento. Always heard about it. Always been interested in it. Never watched it. That's how it goes.
You
with
were
movies.
always interested in it?
The Prestige.
Why didn't you watch it when we were in
The
college
Prestige.
then?
Yeah. So The Prestige is another one where I think Hugh Jackman's wife dies.
Is it the tragic death of an assistant?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Close enough.
Female assistant.
Close enough.
Nice.
Watched that on an airplane. As well as Aquaman.
On your way to Europe or what?
Were you going to Malibu or Milwaukee? Are you going to go visit Brett?
I was gonna visit Paul in Cleveland.
Ah, okay.
Why do I get Cleveland?
I don't know. I'm trying to find Ohio cities. So Cleveland,
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
I was gonna say, you could've
Cincinnati's
picked
gonna be next
Cincinnati.
week.
Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty, Joe Burr. Let's go, Joe Burr. I need to get his jersey. I'm gonna get his jersey, guys. If he won the Super Bowl, I wasn't gonna get it because I didn't want to be that guy, but he lost, so I'm gonna get it now.
Oh, you feel empowered now
You're still gonna be that guy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
by a loser's jersey?
Damn. Guess I'll just get a Josh Allen jersey.
Ouch.
I gotta go.
All right, cool. Let's get into the static.
Roger that.
Welcome to the static.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
That's great right there. Thank you, sir. So, Paul, my good friend Paul,
Go ahead.
I see you on a weekly basis, most weeks, at a D&D. Why don't you let us know how you got into that? That's a good story.
Yeah. So, all right. Well,
First off, what is D&D from your perspective? Explain it real quick for those who don't know.
From Paul's perspective,
I don't think you want my perspective.
Gavin, go ahead and explain D&D for
Let a
the
bunch
audience.
of nerds get together and just nerd out.
Pretty much.
That's us.
Nailed it on the nose there. It's fun if you're with the right crowd.
Ironically,
Dungeons and Dragons from Stranger Things. If
Yeah,
you've
but you
seen
guys were
that.
playing the Disney one. Or you guys were playing the Star Wars ones. That one's cool. Remember?
Yeah.
That was the cool.
Yeah, that's
Oh
a good
yeah,
one.
no yeah.
But we also play a nerdy one.
Yeah. We don't talk about that one. You
I'm
weren't supposed
cool.
to mention that.
I only play Star Wars, so I'm cool then.
Yeah, you're cool.
All right, cool. Yeah, so basically, Jacob over here, he comes to me and starts talking about D&D. I guess how he sees people playing at ASU or something. was
So
it?
how that started was Ethan got into it with some of his friends at ASU.
Yeah.
So he would tell me about it. I'm like, that sounds kind of
With
cool.
Gavin.
low-key.
Fuck you.
Well, here's that real quick because we're going to talk about
Because that
it anyway.
inspired
Yeah.
my story.
Spiraling into different stories.
My dorm roommate wanted to run a D&D campaign, and he asked if I wanted to do it. And I was like, yeah, sure. And that's it. All I said was, yeah, sure. And the next thing I know, he's like, hey, first session's this date. I was like, oh
God.
crap. Damn. So
that feeling.
me and Gavin had to go. I was driving, and we were dreading going. We were like, oh, let's tell him we have to be home by a certain time so we don't have to be there too long. Like, we really didn't want to do it.
Does Jay know that that was our
I don't know.
intentions?
I don't know.
It'd be kind of a horrible way for him to find out.
You
I don't
listening?
even know if
Hi,
Jay
Jaden.
listens. Hi, Jaden, if you're listening. Probably not, though. But we show up, sit down. 10 minutes in, we're like, all right, it's pretty rad. And then we ended up loving it. And Gavin became like the biggest D&D nerd I know.
What?
The biggest D&D nerd I know.
That's cap.
You're the biggest D&D nerd I know.
How am I the biggest nerd?
Because I don't know any other people.
You guys are the ones buying shit for it.
Whoa, buying what? To run a good campaign for you?
Counts in the board.
But you still know more
GM
than me.
screen.
But yeah, we ended up loving it. And Gavin ran his own game for a little bit, but then he flaked.
That was my first session.
Yes, I remember we're telling Jacob, like, oh yeah, me and Gavin go play D&D. Like, you guys are playing D&D? I want to play.
I'm a big nerd, so it fits.
And then about a year after that, that's when he wanted to do his own. And that's where Paul's story comes in.
Actually, starts a little bit before that. I forgot. So you guys know that guy Brett, right?
Yeah. Love that guy.
So
Shout out, Brett.
I worked with him, and I remember he was actually in a D&D campaign, and he was telling me, and for those of you who know Brett, he tells really great stories. And over there at Spencer's, there was nothing to do, and I let him just go on for like an hour probably. And everything he said was like great. Like I was really in tune to his story, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like if this was like a game or something, obviously like an actual,
Yeah.
I was like, I'd probably like get into it. And then I remember him being like, yeah, dude, like one day I'll run my own, and I'll invite you. You can play. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I just said that like not really,
Intending to actually
play, yeah. So I knew his background, and he made it sound really cool, whatever. And so Jacob comes along, and I think we're playing PlayStation. And he had mentioned it eventually. And it's been in the back of my head. And then we had just gotten Star Wars. What was that? Star Wars
Battlefront?
Yeah. And so we're playing, and then so this night happens. I'm pretty wasted at this point. not bad. I don't know if I should tell you guys what happened before that.
Go on and tell us.
Go on.
All right, I'll tell you. All right, so I was getting laid, right? And, oh my god. So that was going on, and so there was alcohol involved. Obviously, there was consent too.
Naturally.
So then I just remember like I had a few shots, and then it was all at my house.
Was he cute?
She was. And so anyways, I think my cousin and her boyfriend come over because they were like at Westgate around that area, and I'm feeling it, right?
Oh
and
my God,
for some reason you do remember this now.
I
Okay.
remember this.
So I was just like, Jacob, we got to hop on PlayStation right now. We got to play some Star Wars. And then we hopped on, and I was like, dude, let's fucking do it. Let's run this campaign. Like, I'm down. Like let's go. I can get Naite right now, my cousin's boyfriend. And I'm like, let's go. And oh, really? And he's all excited, all happy. And then, I don't know, like 2 hours goes by, and then I fall asleep, wake up the next morning, and then I'm like, fudge. I just agreed to the most nerdiest, dumbest thing in the world. And I like instantly regretted it because like I know he was so happy, and I couldn't like break his little heart like that. And I was like, gosh dang it. And then we ended up going to it. I ended up talking to him about Brett, and then Brett got Sammy involved, and then we went to that first session, and I remember dreading that whole entire day. I just thought it was gonna be super awkward, and I had an idea for my character to have an accent, and I was like, I'm gonna be the only one with an accent. It's gonna be so weird, and it turned out to be like the greatest day of my life. It was the coolest thing ever, and I still miss my character. He died.
Now we've been playing
Spoilers.
that campaign for like a year and a half now.
I know.
Or we've been playing for a year and a half. Now we're on the second campaign.
Oh yeah, and we're all emotionally connected to our characters,
Especially me.
especially Ethan.
That's how Jay's campaign went too, right? Everyone was so invested in that.
Yeah.
That went on for like a year and a half too.
We were committed for a solid.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was just the story was great. Everything fell into place perfectly. Like even the dice rolls made sense to the storytelling.
Yeah,
It
everything.
was-
Everyone played their character perfectly. The dice rolls were perfectly going along with the way the story went out, and
And it's Star Wars, so that's just like
if it was a movie, it would be
way better
best
than the sequels.
saga.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any last minute like very late night sessions, or were they all like planned?
They
and
were all
scheduled?
organized.
They're all
They weren't like
all
ours.
organized and planned because we were all
Why don't you talk
We're
about
adults.
We're adults with jobs and schedules and stuff. We weren't living in dorms.
We had
Like,
two.
let's
We
play
had
a
2
session
days.
right now.
Yeah, we had 2 options every. Was it Wednesdays?
Thursdays and Saturdays.
Thursdays and
Thursday
Saturdays.
and Saturdays, yeah.
We always made it work.
With ours was usually, well, our old one, our first one, it was Monday nights, but there were certain occasions when it'd be like 11:30 at night. I shared a room with Jay, the guy, the DM, and then Gavin and I would be doing homework. We finished our homework. We're like, hey, Jay, midnight session?
What the heck?
And he'd be like, if everyone else is down. So he'd text like the 3 other guys. But me and Gavin were like, oh, they're not going to say yes. But they all said yes. This happened like on multiple occasions.
6 of you
So
said yes.
yeah. So then,
Wow.
and then we would have it in like a study room on the same floor. So then we had like a midnight session that lasted till like 4 a.m.
That was like
Oh
the
my
best
gosh.
session we
That was a
ever
great
had,
session,
too. That
though,
was
yeah.
the funniest
It
session.
sounds really cool, like in theory, but I feel like doing it would. I just instantly
Well, yeah.
regret it.
It's also when your bed is right next door, and when you don't have work or anything. I think I did have like a math class at 7 a.m. though.
I think Jay had pulled like an all-nighter before
Yeah.
that too, so he was like, "Damn it, I gotta."
Jay's awesome. We need to have Jay on.
But when you get those sessions going, like those really good ones, it's like you don't want it to end.
Nope.
I hate hearing that
I know.
freaking music.
Jacob always plays the Jedi theme.
Oh.
It's the
That leads to
worst.
the credits.
Well, the girl across from us wanted it to be over.
Yeah. There was so we were pretty loud, I guess, but we weren't even that loud. It's not like we were obnoxiously loud. And
Okay.
we were pretty loud.
Yeah, I was gonna
Joe's
say, I
laugh
don't
was
know.
pretty loud. Shout out Joe. Shout out Joe. But there was a girl across the hall who got mad at us once and like opened her door and she's like, I have a class at 7 a.m. Can you guys please be quiet?
Oh God.
And we're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
loud as
sure.
And then, then we just did our thing.
Say,
That was like,
please.
what, 3 a.m?
It was like 3 a.m.
Gosh.
But it was fun. It was good. I enjoy it. I miss it.
I don't know about you guys, but like, so when we started that campaign, I was a security guard, and I had nothing to do at all because I was from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. So literally, I would just walk around like my same little old folks retirement home, and I had nothing to do but just think about D&D and how I want to develop my character and do all this research. I don't know if you guys ever have any.
I do that when I'm driving sometimes. I'll put on some music to inspire me.
I do that now as I drive.
I did that today. I'm like, well, what would be cool to happen next session? Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I should write that down. I remember you would tell me like one night before you go to work, you're like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about this or this would be cool. I'm like, all right, cool. And then the next morning you're like, all right, so at work I thought about this.
Dude, when you have, 10, 12, I was working 10 hours? 10 hours straight where you're just like, you have probably an hour's worth of work. So 9 hours of just walking around every once in a while. Like, you start to think of some stuff. And not to mention, like, all the research you do. And then I had you, too. We were living together at the time.
Yeah.
So it was easy to have information just right here. Mm-hmm. Then I would wake him up with a story of what's going to happen on Snapchat or something. I got a lot of good work from there.
So,
Bunch of nerds.
would you ever play a traditional D&D game?
Definitely now, depending on like who's there.
Who's running it and
Who's running it?
playing it?
For example, I know we've hinted the whole Brett thing.
Oh yeah.
I would definitely do that one. I would try somebody else's too.
Yeah.
As long as I know other people, it'd be weird.
If it was just random
Bunch of
people.
random people. Yeah, if it's at least half of it.
Okay.
I would try.
Because I know you were like super, like when we first started the Star Wars one, you were like, oh yeah, I'd never do a traditional one.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did say
Yeah,
that.
I remember that.
You're like, I only do Star Wars. I'm not doing like
Slippery
medieval
slope.
fantasy. So
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Times changed.
you're drunk every session though.
I was gonna say there's a lot of beer involved. Maybe that was what's going on. I don't know.
But yeah, D&D
Still is.
really good. Appreciate it. Have fun. Can't wait for next session.
Oh, I can't wait either. I have so many good things.
Gavin, do you have any D&D stories you might want to share?
I mean, aside from that one,
The midnight
aside
one.
from the midnight one, that was. I mean, I feel like we can go on and on with just funny D&D stories, but without sounding too much like a
It's too late,
you
bro.
know, nerd.
It's too late. You guys just had an argument like
Yeah.
2 minutes ago about who's the nerdiest. It's too late.
Me personally, I can't think of anything that comes
I
to
think
mind.
the cool thing about D&D is just the
It's
other
fun.
people and like playing with them and the experiences and even the stories around the campaign. Like not necessarily what happens in the session, but happens outside of it.
It's just fun when you get into a character and everybody else does. Like
Yeah.
when we played with with our family, like me, Ethan, my mom, dad, Austin, Mia, like everybody. We just did like a family D&D session for like what, two times,
Two or
three
three
times,
times,
I think.
yeah.
Cool.
But like, I was shocked at how much like dad got into his character
Yeah.
or mom. So it was just funny to see that. It was really fun. I liked it.
Yeah,
We should do it again, guys. If you're listening, Dad.
Yeah, Dad, let's do it again. Let's do it again right now. Gavin can run it.
Oh,
Yeah, I think if you don't knock it till you try it, that's the whole
Yeah.
thing.
It sounds worse.
It's
than what it
yeah,
is.
exactly.
It's just because it just goes with the bad stereotype. You just come with like a nerd, and it's like, I'm nerdy, but I'm not that nerdy.
we're not
I found out
gonna
I
dress
am
up
that
as our
nerdy.
characters.
Yeah, we don't dress up or anything. We just show up with a laptop and we're good to
I
go.
wear a cloak.
Oh, he does wear a cloak.
Ethan bought it for
I
me.
did buy a helmet, a Mandalorian helmet.
How much you spent on that?
I don't want to say. My dad's listening.
I have a lightsaber that I bring occasionally.
But that's Star Wars. It's way cooler than just
Yeah.
traditional
Star Wars.
D&D.
I used to have a little kangaroo that I brought too. 'Cause he was my pet. Or
Trevor.
I don't know what he was to me.
You had a pet too.
It was like a Han Solo Chewbacca relationship.
He just did whatever I wanted.
In our old one, our first one, Gavin's character had a pet tiger or
cool.
dog that turned into a tiger.
Oh, what?
That's a whole other story.
That's some Encanto shit.
And
right there.
and his name was Kevin. He named him Kevin.
Okay.
The whole thing though was he never wanted Kevin to get hurt. So whenever we go into combat, he'd send Kevin away.
But I always made sure that I always got him decked out in the highest armor.
Yeah, I know.
Spent all my money on
Just
Kevin.
spoiled Kevin. Never let a soul touch him or anything.
What a lap dog.
I literally threw Trevor like on a broken bridge just to see if it would break.
Oh, I remember that. Oh my god.
And I kind of ruined a little bit. We ended up falling.
That's
I
true.
abused
Oh, yeah.
my companion.
But this most recent session, the one that I run with Gavin, he got a pet wolf now,
That's awesome.
and he called it Kevin.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Slipped
Jacob
out.
had to correct him. Jacob was like, "Did you just call him Kevin?" And he didn't even realize
I
he
had like
did
a
it.
flashback. I was like, oh, no. I wanted to name him Kevin originally, but Ethan wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I was like, no, because there's already a Kevin
In
Different
canon,
universe.
Multiverse.
Let's put some variation in there, and I also make it to where his pet wolf is in combat.
Wait, so what's his pet wolf's name?
His name is Luke.
Crossover.
Way better than Kevin.
Trevor, Kevin.
Kevin doesn't roll. Luke doesn't roll off the tongue as much. Kevin, I could say.
Kevin.
It's funnier. Like, what was it? Jay had someone target my tiger once, and I was like, I was so scared that whole session, dude. Or the time where my character got interrogated. And he just held a gun to Kevin the whole time. I was like, no! I was like, I'll do anything you
When
want.
the DM knows your weakness.
I was like, nope, I'm not saying shit. And then he puts a gun to Kevin's head. I'm like, all right, so anyway.
So this is what
This is
happened.
what- this is what
Singing like a
happened.
bird. Oh God.
Threw everybody under the bus just to save my dog. Tiger.
Dog
Hybrid.
tiger.
Okay, before this turns into a D&D podcast. So a couple episodes ago, we talked about ghost stories or supernatural encounters. And I had mentioned when I was living with Paul about the shadowy figure that his mom had told me about that they see all the time, and they're just like all nonchalant. Yeah, he's just occasionally we see him. And Paul, you said there was an update, or what was your thing about that?
All right, so before I got here, I went to my mom, and I just asked her a quick question. Same thing that you said. Did you remember? Can you give me the details of this shadowy figure, just so I can refresh myself? And it got a little bit deeper.
Oh.
So apparently, she would always hear things in her room. So she would be brushing her teeth, and she would like hear footsteps all along the ceiling, as if it's like circling.
But you don't have an upstairs, right?
No, we don't. We just have an attic. And she said you could tell if someone's like walking because it would be like the heel, toe. Like it was a nice rhythm. And she kind of just looked past it after a while, so long. She would hear it in that living room, in that bathroom, and just in her room in general. And she heard stuff coming from your room before you were there. She just explained something to me. She said that she was alone at one point. Everyone was at work, and she was watching Lifetime movies.
Naturally.
And where you used to play video games, like on that wall, she said she heard a huge thump. And so she thought, what was that, whatever. And then 10 minutes later, she hears a door slam. And it was in that room. She went in there, and there was nothing going on. Nothing. And apparently, my nana and my dad, they would all hear doors just slam, and there would be no AC, no air conditioning or anything. So I don't know about this shadowy figure. I know they've seen him. I've never seen him, but...
Have you ever experienced anything for yourself, though, that's aside from this shadowy figure?
In that house, one night I was doing homework, and I had my dog, Achilles. He was next to me. And in the living room, it's like super dark. It was at night.
I'm going to steal that name.
Oh, my God.
Pretty sweet, huh?
Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Nice.
I'll mention this after.
Cool. So
Describe Achilles, because Gavin's really intrigued by that.
he's a gorgeous German Shepherd, 7 years old.
That is such a
65
cool
pounds.
name for a dog.
Thanks, man. You're the first one to say that to me. In 7 years.
I love that name.
I thought it was awesome.
He's got a big head.
It's not.
does.
It's not as common as Zeus, but it's.
He was going to be
right
a
up there,
Zeus.
yeah.
Anyway,
Achilles is cooler.
continue.
I was going to keep going. But anyways, yeah, so he's next to me laying down. I'm on my laptop, and all of a sudden he stands up into like an alert kind of stance, and then he gets like close to like the shadow. Like it's weird. It's like an arc. So you see the shadow like where it breaks, and he gets close to it, and he just keeps crawling and crawling, and he's staring at it. And so I let him do this for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then finally I'm like, Achilles, and he turns, looks at me, and then he looks back, and then he like walks to me, and then he just starts letting me pet him. And at that point, I didn't see anything, but it was just kind of creepy. And that could have been like maybe you heard a sound, but it's just really weird, like in the middle of the night, just to see your dog just perk up.
So, on that note, do you remember this when we were playing video games and Achilles did something similar?
Oh,
and you told me? I don't think I was living with you at the time.
Because he was looking at
He was
your
like,
hallway.
He was looking in the corner, or you were like freaking out. You're like, dude, Achilles just looked down the hallway. He's freaking me out right now.
Oh my gosh, I do remember. He did the same thing, looking down your hallway where my mom hears that stuff. So remember how so his hallway also arched.
Right.
You've been in the house.
It's really dark at night.
It's there's really dim lights. And so when I used to play video games, what is like 12, 2 in the morning, whatever,
Right.
Everyone's asleep. It's just the little kitchen light on when you can see like the shining, whatever. So he used to hang out by me in the living room. And I do remember we were playing, I don't know what game we were playing, but we were on, and he just stood up and he started.
Did he bark?
He barked and he ran. He stood up, barked, and then he ran into like that living room space, and it freaked me out. I went in after him, and then he was like really pissed off at something. I don't know what it was. I didn't see anything, but it was weird because it was so early in the morning. Everybody was asleep, and it was just probably just my voice that he can hear. I can't explain that one, but
That's weird.
Better call it Ghostbusters for that. What the hell?
that was just that house. And so the funny thing about that house is the landlord, she gave off some pretty bad like juju. She hated kids. She said it openly. You've met her once. She was very weird.
Weird.
She's an old
Especially
lady.
the time that you met her, you got
Yeah.
kicked out, right?
Yeah, it's just weird.
Basically, me and him would have been
The
living.
whole
We
situation.
would have been living in that house right now if it wasn't for that lady. Like we were like 2 months away from just taking over that house. Anyway, that's a different story. But so this lady's like, I don't know if she's like Persian or something. But when we were renting the house, when we first went there to like interview with her or whatever, she was telling us like no pets, no animals. And she told us, I don't even kill bugs in here. I pick them up and I put them outside because if you kill them, it leaves something. And we're just, okay. So it was,
She knows from experience.
I
Like,
guess
kill
so.
stuff, it leaves something.
so she was very, and she like mocked God and stuff. And like, she just gave off a lot of bad vibes. Like to the point to where we kind of felt like maybe she like did something or I don't know. And she had this closet. This closet was locked. There was no.
That's the faces we're talking about whenever we talk.
Keep going, damn it. I'm intrigued.
So there's this. I'm just look at you when I talk now. So there's this closet. It's locked. There's no handle, and she had her. It was supposed to be a pantry. She had all her things in there, and there was like Persian rugs in there. There was like weird food that the military would eat, and the reason why it was still in there was because it lasted like 25 years, and it was just really weird. And she had this just like suitcases in there. She didn't want anybody in there ever. And she would come down every so often, like once a year, maybe, every 2 years. And she would come in there and she would sort that closet out. And she just had like that bad, weird vibe. And I feel like that had to do something with that house a little bit.
Did you ever like go into that closet?
No, I seen it. It was just a bunch of like luggage, like rugs and weird things that like I don't know. It wasn't from this country, so it's creepy.
If dogs weren't allowed, how'd you get Achilles to be there?
Oh, man. Well,
Snuck him in.
are you kidding me? Dude, there's so many times where I had to take him to the dog park while she would visit for like 5 hours. One time I slept in my 92 Blazer in the back of it with him for a whole night, and it was the worst. There was a girl in there too. In the park. So he wasn't supposed to be there. We just snuck him around.
Okay.
And then when she ended up living with us. This is such a weird story now. So she ended up living with us, right? Jacob gets kicked out, and then we were trying to leave. And this whole time she's like, your dog can't be here. So I had to pay so much money for him to go to a dog hotel. And I probably like lost like $500 just on that alone.
He was living it up, though.
He was having the time of his life, man. He was like, no ghosts here, no nothing. I'm getting played with 3 times a day, fed, cookies every night. And that's just, I don't know. That lady was weird, and then she's no longer at that house, though. They sold it.
Yeah, it got broken into, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It got broken into. Like, the windows were broken, and once we left, it was weird. And she wanted to, like, live with us. And then, top it off, when she lived there, I walked in the bathroom, and she was just peeing with all the doors open. I was like, lady, like, I'm not one to, like, insult your culture, but what the fuck is this, man? I was so peed off.
Peed off.
I know, I said the F. My bad. Oops. Sorry, Mr. Kessler. But yeah, so anyways, back to ghost stories. So the crazy thing is this wasn't even the most haunted house that I lived in. So the most haunted house I lived in, was on Lamar. It was like on 47th Avenue. It was like our first house. That one, there was a whole bunch of weird stuff that happened, which is weird because this brings me to what Jacob had mentioned. He mentioned a man in the hat, I think.
Oh, I want to say yeah, but I don't know for sure.
That's the only way I know
what
about it,
said.
because you said man in the hat.
Okay, maybe.
Because I mentioned that to my mom, and then she like unlocked a memory. I forgot. There was this one night they were. It was like a house party. My parents and like my parents' kids or whatever. Parents' kids. My parents' friends' kids. Right. So we're all hanging out, and and I do remember this actually. We come out screaming, and we're like, "Hey, there's a guy in the house. There's a guy in the house." So immediately, like the men, they like, "Oh, what the heck?" Like,
How old were you at this time?
I was probably like 7. And then my sister was like 10. And then my other friend was like 9 or 6. Jeez. So they go running in, boom, and they don't find anybody. And I specifically remember we looked down this hallway. It was a dark hallway. And there was a man in a hat, like a shadowy figure. And he did one of those quick little like goes into the shadows type things. And we just freaked out. And there was 3 of us. And like, I know we could see things, but that gave me chills when my mom mentioned that, because I do vividly remember that now. And it's like,
how do you forget that?
I don't do, because
So, I swear, like when your mom described all this stuff to me when I was living with you guys, like I swear she mentioned a man in a hat as like the figure, or
it might be.
It might have been your nana too. Like I just remember them saying that he was really tall.
That's what she said.
And like shadowy figure, doesn't have like any features, but they never felt like threatened or anything.
Like a shadow person.
Yeah, they were just like, oh, he's just like there. We don't really do anything.
What's
he
really
doesn't
weird?
do anything really.
What's really weird is my mom added when I asked about the shadow person. She just kept going on.
She said
that my nana felt them like pull on her legs, and she woke up screaming. I don't know about that. I don't know when that happened or if that did happen, but
Call her. Let's get her on right now.
let's get her on.
For the record again, I never experienced anything in like what the 6 months, 7 months I was living with you.
So my mom thinks it's my
Nothing.
dad.
Never got anything.
My
Never
mom,
vibes.
my mom thinks my dad's just bringing these weird things with him everywhere he goes. Because that's not even it.
Want to expand on that?
For that first house.
I think I do remember her telling me that too.
Yeah. That first house, I literally, and I stand by this to this day, I believe I saw the Reaper. Like a stereotypical Reaper.
Like the Grim Reaper?
Like a Grim Reaper. So it was weird because the way the hallway was set up, there was my mom and dad's room, and then right across from it was my room, and then right next to it was my sister's room, and then right across from hers was the bathroom. So whenever my parents had the light on, you can see the light shine onto like the toilet and like the white tile and stuff. So I remember I'm like in her room, my mom's room at like, it's got to be like nighttime, 9 p.m. or something, probably watching cartoons. And I get up to go to the bathroom. And I remember walking there, I'm like kind of tired. And I go and I look. And when I stare into the bathroom door, like I stop right at the entrance. I look and, like I said, you should be able to see the white, like kind of shining off the light. Well, it was just black. I was like, what the heck? And I was a little kid, and I remember slowly looking up, and then it just looked like a shadowy figure, had the hood on, and it looked like it had a scythe. And I remember running to my mom's room, and I was scared of the bathroom for like 10 days. And I specifically remember that one. I think that overpowered the hat guy.
The hat guy?
The hat man,
they had
dude.
a fucking brawl in the corner?
Yeah, dude, yeah. And then the funny thing is, too, is my nana was watching me one night, and she said she heard something in the hallway when I was asleep. She looked down there, and she said she saw a tall, slender guy walk through the door. That house was
Was
weird.
this all in the
dude.
same house or two different
That
houses?
was the same house right
What
there.
the hell, dude? Why'd you stay there for so long?
I was a kid. I don't know.
I don't know.
And then there was one, too, where I was in the back room, and there was this big radio that my dad had up top. I couldn't reach it, and one day it just flew across the room. And I got super scared, ran to my dad, and he lied and was like, yeah, I threw it. He told me that story, too, and I was like, I do remember that. Like, dang, you lied.
My God.
That was all the
Why
same
to
house.
protect you?
Like it fell or it flew?
No, it flew. Like, he said it across the room, the batteries popped out. Like, there's no way I wasn't tall enough to reach up there and chuck it. I don't know why I would do that.
You have way more ghost stories than we do.
I know. I think it's my dad, dude.
Jeez.
An evil
Has
man.
anything happened in the new house?
My sleep paralysis, bro. It was a bad dream, dude. That was scary, bro.
Okay, yeah.
That's
go.
not considered a ghost story.
Yeah, but
It
let's
might
hear it.
be.
Let's hear
I
it.
don't know.
Well, I've never experienced sleep paralysis. Have you, Ethan?
Nope.
Gavin?
I have.
You have?
Once.
Okay.
It wasn't that bad, though.
Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, my bad. No, it's not. All right, so this is actually when I was working as a security guard. So I was going to bed at like 8 in the morning. I had to put drapes over, you know what I mean, to like make my room super dark. It was hard for me to go to sleep.
Right.
So I remember coming in. I knocked out. I had this really weird dream. It involved my ex. And we were like going to hang out. You good?
Yeah.
All right, so I had this dream that involved my ex, right? And I remember, like, you know how dreams just start in the middle?
Yes.
I remember I walked out of like the car and I was like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, I don't know what the place was. And then she pops up and was like, hey, let's go. And then I guess it was like an antique shop type thing. I was like, what are we doing here? And then there was this random girl. She was just with us. And then I remember we're just walking around, I lose the ex, and then I hopped into, there's like an antique bed, and I hopped into it, and it was like all set up. So there was like dressers on the side. And I remember I like laid down on my side, and then the other girl crawled into bed next to me, and she did one of those like I was Little Spoon. You know what I mean? And I was like, what the heck is going on? And then my ex came, and I don't know how this happened, but then it's like I woke up and I was stuck, and I was in that same position that I was in my dream, and I could feel someone holding me behind, like that same
Being
spoon.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? And I tried to move, and literally I've never felt this in my life. I never felt so vulnerable in my life. I tried to turn, and nothing would work, and only thing that worked was my eyes, and I was like looking in the corner, and I could see a hand. It was like a shadowy hand, that kind of sharp looking, and it was slowly coming over my face, and then it was just getting closer and closer, and then I just remember I started praying, and then as soon as I did that, it started receding, and then I was like, and my heart was racing. I went up, and I was like, no, I do remember, man. I do remember. I think I said our Father or something, and all of a sudden it just receded, but that was the most scariest I've ever been in my entire life.
Jeez.
And I had a really bad dream.
Again, I've never experienced anything like that.
I had a bad dream. That's where that comes
That's where that comes
Oh
from,
my
dude.
gosh. Stop. I had a bad dream.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it. Never mind. That was That was scarier than any of the
You started
Reaper
praying
stuff.
it was that bad.
Dude, I thought I was
Hey, when you have
dead.
nothing else to say, just say Jesus.
Amen.
No, you have
That's
no
a song.
Dude, when yeah, I got a good one. When like you can't move, like you're done. Like you don't know how hard I tried. I was even like I don't even think I could speak because I remember trying to say I do remember now. I was trying to say mom, and it was just like muffled, like you can't move your lips at all. So I'm like the only thing I could do is move my eyes and think. So I might as well say a quick prayer before I go to hell. Like hope for a redemption or something. I'm like, no.
I mean, I got lucky by just facing the wall. Like I was
Oh,
sleeping
God.
towards the wall, but I never felt, saw, or heard anything. It was just like, damn, I can't move. It was like that for like 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, 15 minutes.
Well, I mean, I don't.
Maybe
know
you should
how
have
long-
prayed.
I don't know how long it
Would have been
passed.
faster.
Maybe I don't know.
Man.
So no suppressing feeling at all?
Huh?
No suppressing feeling?
No, I
or-
literally was like, damn. I mean, I was scared because I couldn't move, but I never
Yeah.
like, I didn't hear or sense anything. But like hearing all these stories of everyone seeing demons and stuff, I'm like, I would hate so much for me to be like facing towards the wall or away from something, and then to feel it or hear it
Oof.
and not be able to look back. Especially if I could see something coming. Like,
Yeah.
imagine sleeping towards a mirror and you could see something in the mirror or something like that.
Oh,
That would be worse because I have a mirror in my room.
That's
so do I.
I would hate to like.
I don't have a room.
all right then. So.
Oh man. So do you guys sleep in total darkness,
Yes.
or is there like any light at all?
Light's bad for you, so I try to get that good dark sleep.
I wish I could sleep in total darkness. I have some blinking lights from the Wi-Fi router, the window.
Yeah. So like my I think some of my like electronics have little faint like glows. So there's light in my room, and sometimes I'll catch like out of the corner of my eye like a shadow in the closet like crack, you know, that little cliche. And I have to like do a double take. I'm like, okay, no, that's just my hoodie. I'm good, and I go back to bed.
Get the logic answer going.
I know. Maybe I'm just logical. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Like experiencing all that. That's
Well, I know how
can't
you
think-
are though. Like you're as skeptic as I am, right?
Yeah, because so it's funny that you say stuff like that. So
Like we both believe like we're have religious basis.
yeah, I believe there's spirits and ghosts walking.
Yeah.
I believe there is something walking around, like some kind of something. So I do believe that I've seen these. I don't think. I mean, there's a lot of coincidences. I mean, there's even more. I'm not going to get into all of them, but there's more, and it's like,
So weird.
well, why do I keep seeing these then? Maybe I need to be on like medication, like Brett said.
Schizo moment.
Just kidding, Brett. Yeah, so I mean, there's that. And my dad's had multiple stuff like that. He's told me about things that where he would have like back in the day Iron Maiden and like Ozzy Osbourne posters all over and T-shirts. Which I mean, if you follow it, it's like evil. You know what I mean? Rock and roll back then. And he said he would have bad dreams, like seeing all that stuff all the time. So that could have been in his back of his mind, but.
I was gonna say Iron Maiden has an album called 666 Number of the Beast.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Could be it.
Could be
have something to do with it.
maybe.
Slayer, upside down crosses and everything.
Yeah, so it's funny because, like you said, I am a skeptic to the most part. Like, I will not watch a scary movie. I hate those things, so I can agree with
too.
you there, Ethan. I think you too. Yeah.
You don't like scary movies?
I hate the feeling of just being scared. Like, I hate
It's the best.
anticipating it. Like, I want to be comfortable.
That's scary for real life now, Gavin.
Now,
You think I haven't been scared in real life before?
now, if it's a real life thing, though, like we've done like the Galileo house or whatever, I've done that twice. That's like that haunted house where like the guy killed his wife and kids and put them in the dumpster behind the Circle K or whatever.
Damn.
That mansion. So
First time hearing of this.
I was gonna say I've never heard of
it
that.
burnt down, not recently, but it's funny because I went there twice and then I found out it was a rest on site. But it's like a weird mansion, and they have like people will go in there and they spray
Oh, this
paint
isn't
stuff.
it's not an attraction. It's like a
No, this is
it's like a closed down house.
Yes.
Like you
In
can't be on the
Minecraft.
property.
you can't
It's
be on the
illegal
property. Yeah, it's illegal.
in Minecraft.
in Minecraft.
Damn, I know. Okay,
I thought it was like a tourist.
I thought it was like an
attraction
attraction. Like,
No.
oh, hey, come tour this haunted house.
No, it's like a story that I heard.
Holy crap!
But you've been there twice.
I've been there twice, and so
In Minecraft.
in Minecraft.
and so like on the walls they have things written like spray painted like he's behind you, like just to freak you out, like when you're walking through. Right?
Naturally.
And so I remember going there the first time. I was with my buddy, and we had two girls, and I kind of just separate because like that. So like real stuff like that doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
But like if you put me in front of a movie, I'm like, nah, I'm not down for that.
Right.
And so I would go in there, I was looking around, I was like, whatever. And I remember walking back to the car. They started freaking out, the girls, so we left. And we're walking back to the car, and I'm at the very end of the line. And then all of a sudden, like, something gets thrown behind me, and it, like, brushes by stuff. And it goes, like, in front of them, and they're freaking out. It's like, oh, my gosh, Paul, what was that? Was it? I was like, oh, it was me. Don't worry about it. It was me. And then we get to the truck, and then I'm like, hey, guys, just so you know, that wasn't me. I don't know what that was. And once again, that could have been anything. That could have been, this, and then the second time we went, there was, like, an outhouse,
Same
too.
people or different people?
The guy was there, and I think the same 2 girls, maybe. Wow. Anyways, so we go. There's an outhouse, and it's like a weird storage. It was just open, and we're like, all right, we've already seen inside. Let's go check that out now. And so we walk there, and they're freaking out, of course. And this, so just to paint the picture a little bit more, this guy's trying to get with this girl. So of course he's trying to play the brave hero type, and I'm like, I'm just here to go check out this house. I don't care about her friend, really. So he's freaking out. They're freaking out. I'm like, I'm just going to walk in here. And as soon as I go to walk in, you hear this growling thing. And they're like, Paul, don't go in there. Don't go in there. And I never went in there. I didn't hear it, but I was like, okay.
Oh, my God.
And we left. And that's the Galileo house. It's burnt down. Sorry, guys, you can't see it.
Oh, you went when it wasn't burnt down.
I went before, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. Recently.
How'd it get burnt down?
I think probably people.
Under suspicious circumstance.
Interesting.
No.
Jeez.
Okay.
Like, I'm fascinated by all this stuff. Like, I'll listen to this 24/7. Even like scary stories on YouTube, true crime, blah blah blah, all that stuff. I've just never experienced anything like that.
Have you guys heard about like the Indian reservations and stuff?
Skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. That's scary. I've heard stories. I've never actually been on one like looking for that. I mean, I'd be a little bit more freaked out.
Gavin and I had a weird thing happen at Denny's where we're just having a conversation and the 4 guys in the table next to us stopped talking.
Oh my God, that was
just
so
stopped
weird.
talking at the same time. And as I'm talking to Gavin, they turn all at the same time and look at us, just dead staring at us, mid-conversation for them.
I remember
and Gavin's nodding along to what I'm saying, but then once they go back to doing their thing, he's like, those guys just looked at us.
yeah, I was trying so hard not to make it obvious. I was like, keep going, please. Don't stop talking. Like, please.
This recently?
We should have just stopped talking and looked back
Within the
at
last 6 months. How bizarre.
Yeah, that was trippy to see that. Did you notice that before I pointed it out, or?
I think I noticed one of them at least looking at us just in my peripheral, but you were the one facing them, so.
Yeah, they went dead silent. I'm like,
And they just all at the same time turned and looked.
That's creepy. Unless they planned that. But even so, that's just
Still
creepy
weird,
because you'll
yeah.
never know. And ugh.
And then they got up and left.
that was.
Wait, they looked at you, they stared at you, and then they got up and left?
Within a couple minutes
Yeah,
they left.
it wasn't immediately.
Did they pay?
Where was this Denny's?
The Bell one.
83rd
Oh,
and
okay.
Bell, right?
It's not like it's a bad one.
I
or
know.
anything.
I mean, there was
Well,
like a crackhead out.
That food that night did not taste as good as Denny's usually does.
Milkshake was pretty good, though.
God. Ghost stories to milkshake at Denny's.
That's why we went to Denny's, I think, was so I could get a milkshake.
Yeah.
It's the only place you can get one.
You're what my friend could be, Gavin.
So Gavin, not Gavin, Paul
Okay.
or Gavin, I don't know. You've had a lot of occupations.
Yes.
Any interesting stories happen there? You said you worked at Spencer's, the security guard, deliver water.
Yes. Sorry, I heard a whistle.
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay. Let's see. So Spencer's, man. I guess I could talk about the nipples, huh?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's hear that.
I mentioned
Let's
you.
hear
I
it.
mentioned
Yep,
to you
go
guys.
right into it.
Here you go, Gavin. All right,
This is a
I'm
good
gonna
one.
stare at you as I say this. All right, so so at Spencer's, I was a supervisor,
Okay.
and so at this time, I'm stuck up front and I'm greeting, and so I just remember I forgot who I was with. I don't know if Brett was with me. I don't think he was. But it was Dylan actually. Yeah, our friend Dylan, who wasn't working there, was just visiting, and he was just there with me. And we're talking, and he's just helping me kill time. And then I remember these 2 chicks come in, and I was like, they're hot. You know? I was like, yeah, nice. And it was like a festival time too. Everyone goes to Spencer's for festivals, to get the little art or whatever. And so I end up getting called. So I'm a supervisor. I have keys for the jewelry case. So this girl comes up, one of those two girls, like 5 minutes later, and she's like, "Hey, can you open up the case for me? I need to get some jewelry." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I walk on over there, and then she's like having a hard time looking, and I open it up for her, and I'm like, "Go ahead, you can grab whatever you want." And so she's looking at them, and she's looking at the length, and she keeps just staring at it with her friend. She's like, "I don't know if these will fit." She's like putting it close to her. She's like, she looks at me. She's like, "What's the difference?" Because they had like 1/2 inch, 3/4. And she's like, "What's the difference?" I'm explaining it. And she's like, "Oh, I like these, but I don't know if they'll fit." And she's like almost pulling down her top. She's like, "Oh, can I just show you?" And then this has never happened to me before.
Yes,
but
please.
I responded with, "I mean, yeah, they do it all the time. I could go ahead and give you a hand here." And so she pulls down, shows me, and I was just like, "Yeah, those should fit." So I saw
having no idea that they would fit.
I didn't even know. Yeah, I saw a pair of boobs for free at work. It was really weird.
I was gonna say at that point I wouldn't have cared if they fit.
Jesus.
But I mean, like to keep a straight face and just for me to say, I do it all the time. Like it's a normal thing at Spencer's. It's not. It was the first time ever.
I think the only
That was a
closest
good
time
charisma
I've
check.
gotten to that was like
I wish.
there was a girl that came in to like
Just
pick
makes
up
me
an
think
order,
of Dylan and Brett.
and
It's your quirk.
she came in with only overalls on, and she was a very big girl,
Oh, nice.
just all around. So every movement, I was just maintaining eye contact the whole time.
Hoping one of those buttons.
Yeah, I was like, "Will that be all for you? Cheese, peppers,
Gosh.
Did you say pepperonis?
You know, if we hit when we hit 100 subscribers, we're gonna put a camera just on Gavin's face.
I think that's
Nice.
a great idea because now I know what you're talking about.
Continue though."
Oh, okay. So that was I'll just save that one for Spencer's. So yeah, then I worked
I want to
at
hear the two brothers story.
Two Brothers.
the Sparklets two brothers.
Oh my gosh, you guys want me to go down that road? Holy shit.
Are you able to?
Fuck yeah.
All
Is
right.
it okay? Are we,
Oh yeah.
we good?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Go for it.
Oh gosh, okay.
Let's hope they're not listening.
I'll fight them right now. All right, so fuck man. So
So like, don't even censor yourself either. So it's
I'm
good.
not going to.
Good.
Sorry, Mr. Kessler. If you listen this long, sorry. All right. So I work at Sparklets. I deliver water. So it was my first week, I would say. Actually, let me get some more backstory. So there's that whole Luke Air Force Base. They had that contaminated well.
Ooh, yeah, I
Right.
remember that.
So when I started at Sparklets, they're like, "Hey, you're gonna work basically during that whole entire time." So what happened was Luke Air Force paid for all the residents around there to get free water from us. So they were buying Sparklets water, and we had to pass it all out to them, whatever they wanted. Didn't matter the quantity. They had a certain restrictions, but whatever. If they wanted 10 bottles, fucking here's 10 bottles. It's annoying. And so it's literally every single house, every single apartment. You go to an apartment complex, up the stairs. It was terrible. It was like the worst thing for someone new to start on. My trainer at the time, he was this Captain America dude who was like nonstop go, go, go.
Yeah, didn't he literally flip over a car?
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that next. We'll get to that next. So he's go, 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 and it's to the point to where like these guys are like, "You're gonna kill this kid who we're trying to keep on this, like what's going on?" So I'm listening to this guy. I know nothing better. So we're going. I think I'm getting the hang of it after like the third, fourth day, and we got a little system going where I get the right houses, he gets the left ones. Well, I'm getting these bottles, and I'm dropping them off at this house, and he's already in the truck. And I see a car pull up, and I can see that they're talking, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna I'll ask him what that's about after I'm done dropping these off. So I get in the car, and I'm like, hey, what was that about? And he's just like, the guy's a fucking asshole. I was like, damn, okay. I was like, what do you do? And he's like, he wants us to be at his house before 1 p.m., and I'm trying to tell him, like, we have all these houses. We can't go out of our way for your one specific house. And so the reason is because he wants to unlock his gate so we can go in there and drop him off right at the front door. And so we're about 4 houses away. So we get there. And it's 4 bottles, and they left them right on the right on the driveway. And so what I was doing, and I still do this, is wherever you leave your empties, that's where I'm putting the bottles, because I'm just assuming that's where you're going to pick them up. So I put all 4 down right there, and I go and I step in my car, and it's hot. I'm talking, this is June. I'm sweating. This is like my 5th day out here.
At this point, are you by yourself?
No,
Okay.
no. This is the setup. I'm sorry. This is gonna take
No, I'm just making sure.
So this guy comes out. I thought we were done with this dude. It's a different guy. It's his brother, right? And he's wearing this green shirt, got a beanie on, and he's got this long hair and these shorts, and he's looking pretty sloppy. And he comes out, and he's saying something, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm so fucking tired. Like, I'm literally, just done. So I open the door, and I'm like, what? And he goes, oh, so you're not going to bring the bottles to my door? And as he opens the door, all these dogs run out. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you're not going to bring the bottles to my door? I was like, well, I left them where you put them there. And then my trainer's like, what the fuck's he talking about? And I'm like, he wants me to bring his bottles to the door. And he's like, yeah, we'll do that if he puts his fucking dogs away. And I'm like, yeah, like, what's this guy? I was like, so I was yelling at him. I was like, yeah, we'll do it if you put your dogs away. And he's like, huh? It's like, put your dogs away and we'll do it. We're not going to run in there with a pit bull and a chihuahua and something else. So I'm watching this guy. He's struggling to get these dogs calm and put them inside. And I'm like pissed off. So I'm just like staring at him this whole time. Like I'm ready to get fired after the fucking 5th day. And then finally he does it. And then I let my trainer talk to him, whatever. All right. So now fast forward. Trainer blows his Achilles trying to flip a car. And so it's my 2nd week, dude. We were supposed to get 4 weeks of training with this guy. It's literally the 10th day, that Friday.
Captain America's Achilles heel.
Captain America tries to flip a car, and I'm flipping it with him. Keep in mind, we get it over, and we save the girl inside. But he tears his Achilles.
Just going to rush past.
Wait, there was a girl in trouble?
He just blows through that like it's
You guys
an
were delivering
average
water.
All right.
Fucking what?
I'm so sorry here,
No,
audience.
don't worry about that.
All right, so... All right, we're going to fucking tap into that, too, because it's all part of it. So now it's a Friday, okay? So we got the backstory going. It's Friday, and I'm feeling good now. I'm like, cool, we're going to go home soon. And then all of a sudden, we throw up 2 bays, and he's like, all right, let's go reload. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go. And so I'm looking down on my phone. I just got invited to a party. I think about, dang. And all of a sudden, all I hear is him yell out, oh, fuck. And in my head, I'm like, oh, my gosh, we must have left the bay open. There's so much water like flying all over the road right now. So I look up, and as I look up, in the turning lane on the other side, there's a car just sliding on its, like, upside down. Oh, no, not on its side. It's just sliding. And I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? And I'm like, dude, what are we going to do? I mean, he doesn't even answer me. Just jumps out the car and runs. I'm like, oh, shit, dude, we're in survival mode. And I leave my phone, I'm running, and then we meet up with another guy, and we're talking, and there's a girl pinned. She can't get out on that side. Ugh. And so this random dude's like, hey, I think we got to flip this. And so we're just like, this sounds like a fucking great idea. Let's do this. Like, we're all together now. And so it's a decent little car. And I'm like, we got this. I work out. And so we're pushing it, and we're at this rocking stage. It's like a Pirates of the Caribbean when you're like rocking the
Gavin hasn't seen that far, but it's whatever.
So to my audience, it's like when they're trying to rock the ship to like go upside down, and we're just rocking. It's like boom, boom, and all I could think about is like how this girl must be seatbelted in, just like douche back and forth. And so we're almost got it, and boom, comes back down, and then all of a sudden more guys come. So then we're like, oh, let's push it. And so there's like 10 of us now, and we're rocking it, and then the very last push. Also, hears him yell out, "Oh fuck!" again, and I'm like, "Dude, we just won the battle. Like, what's going on?" And so they're checking on the lady, and it's the funniest part about that is the door that's super smashed. All these guys are like, "Oh my gosh, we can't open the door. We're trying to fucking like," they're all trying to like rip it open. And the one dude who started this whole thing, he just calmly walks over to the other passenger door, and he just opens it. And then everyone's like, "Oh, okay, we're good." And so I go over to my trainer. I'm like, "Dude, you good?" And he's holding his ankle, like, "Fuck no, dude, you're gonna have to drive." I'm like, "Okay." And then I'm like, "Are you good, dude? Like, elevate that thing." Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Elevate the torn Achilles.
Well, we didn't know it was torn. It's torn in 2 places. I was like, so we're driving, and we're right by a hospital. I'm like, "Dude, you want me to stop right there?" And he's like, "Dude, just keep going, dude. Just keep going back to the branch." I was like, all right, hitting all the speed bumps. Like, I felt so bad. He's like over here in agony. I'm like, I can't drive any faster. These trucks don't go that fast. I drop him off. We call Jess. Whoops. Well, we call an important person at my work, and he comes out, and he takes him, and he basically looks at me. It's like 1 p.m. now. He's like, all right, you think you got this? And I was supposed to get 11 more days of training Like, I barely even figured out how to drive this truck. It's a B truck too, so it's got some weight on it. It's really long. I'm like, sure. So that's how that happened, right? Now the next week goes. So he's done. We found out that he tore his Achilles in two different tendons. Ugh. And he was out, obviously. And so they basically were like, all right, well, that's your route now. Like, have fun. And I haven't seen some of these houses. I didn't know where to go. I was like, whatever. What the? So now every 2 weeks, we got to go back to the same houses. So I go back, and I specifically remember that guy's house that we ran into, the one that was giving me grief. And so I looked at the time, and I was like, oh, it's definitely not 1 o'clock right now. It's 3. And so I'm like, you know what? So I park in front of the house. I'm like, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to call him. Call him, nothing. I wait out there. I'm going to wait for 5 minutes. Play Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Shout out Jacob. And then nothing happened. So I'm like, you know what? I figured, like, I was making noise with the brakes, the air brakes, thinking that maybe they'd hear. I'm like, whatever. So I see the bottles. They're on the inside of the gate. So I pick mine up. These are 45 pounds, by the way. So I'm not going to climb over someone's gate. So this is all premeditated, by the way. So I dropped the first 2 down. And then, like, I stare at the door, like, hoping someone comes out. I pick up 2 bottles. I go back, put them away. And I come back, and I get 2 of them. And then I drop them down right there, stare. Nothing happens. So I pick it up. I'm like, all right, whatever. So then I go to tie my shoe. And once you know it, as soon as I drop the last bottle, he comes out. Same fucking beanie, same fucking green T-shirt, same everything. And he's like, oh, so we're doing this shit again? And I immediately turned around, and I was like, what the fuck did you say to me? And he just looks at me, and he's like, oh, are we fucking doing this shit again? I was like, get the fuck over here and say that too. I forgot exactly what I said because I was in the moment. And it escalated really freaking quickly, Gavin. And
Did you fight him? Did you fight him or what?
I was ready. I was like, they ain't gonna fire me, dude. We just got a guy who blew his Achilles. They can't fire me. They need me on this route. I'm protected.
You win the battle but lost the war, or like?
No, I still work there. And I won that battle. So then
Nice.
I'm over here talking stuff, and he's like, oh, he's like, how much do you get paid an hour? And I was like, not enough to deal with this shit. And he's just going back and forth. He's like, you know what? You're lazy. And I'm like, dude, you know, whatever. And so I yell at him, and I'm like, you know what, man? Suck my dick. I told the customer that.
Fuck you and your dogs.
I was like, you know, he's like, what? I said, and I grabbed my freaking junk so he knows where it's at. I was like, I said, suck my dick. And then I continued to go, and I hop in the car, and I'm like, oh, I felt good. Like the relief came over me. I was like, I was premeditated. I was waiting for that guy to come out, and it happened to come out. So then I go down like 3 houses. And then all of a sudden, I hear someone yell out, hey, get back here. And then it's the other guy who was in that Mustang who talked to my trainer that day. It's his brother, apparently. And he's like, you get the fuck over here, and you put these bottles at the door. I was like, what? And like I'm like walking across the street, still delivering bottled water and stuff. And then he's like trying to get my attention. Like, you come over. I was like, you come over here. And like we're calling him out. And then he finally starts walking. He's like, you need to get back here and deliver these bottles. Like, they are fucking delivered. They're at your fucking house. You do it. And then we're just going at it. He's like, what's your? I was like, I have 300, bottles delivered. Blah blah blah. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, I don't give a fuck either. So we're just going back and forth in the middle of the street. In the middle of the day, too. And so we're going, he's like, what's your name? I give him a fake name. And then he gets just, like, up close, and I was like, do something. Like, I was waiting. And then he's like, did you tell my brother to suck your dick? And I was like, you know what? I did. And you could suck it, too. And I grabbed it, and I showed him. And we're just going at it, boom, and then finally he walks away. And this whole time this is going on, bro, right on the other side of the truck, there's this, like, stereotypical Mexican. He's got his shirt off with the Virgin Mary tattooed on his panza, and he's, like, standing there staring at me. He's like, I just want my water, bro. I was like, dude, my bad, you had to hear that. Here's an extra one. And then we were cool. And then eventually that ended up going to, I ended up calling up one of my cool supervisors. He called my manager. I was good. Basically, long story short, I played it off perfectly, and I got a raise.
What?
Well, this year.
Do you still have to deliver to that same house?
No, so that whole HGL thing was Gonzo's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so yeah, they fixed the well, and that's all getting picked up. And so I did not see that guy since that day. So I would still deliver to that house, but they never went outside.
But so they were getting that for free, though.
Yeah, and they're complaining because I wouldn't carry it to their door.
Which I imagine the door wasn't super far away from where you put
It
it.
wasn't super far at all.
What the?
Dude, it was, and they were like, "Oh, I have a disability." I was like, "No, you don't. You're just saying shit now." Dude, it was bad. That was a dark time for me. I contemplated my life many times, but D&D saved it.
Fucking
D&D saved it.
That was the worst, man. And I've never been so heated. And like I said, I was just thinking about what I would say if someone walked out, and he walked out. He just picked the wrong day.
Well, yeah, in the summer, you're having to lift 45-pound waters to
Exactly.
however many houses.
On 10 days of training, like I'm already
Yeah.
getting killed, dude. I was like, I'm talking. I lost 15 pounds.
damn.
Yeah, and I was 15 pounds. I couldn't go to sleep. My hands were like stuck in a grip because of 300 water bottles you're squeezing all day like that, and that really tears you up. And it was just no one was helping me really. It was just like my supervisor every once in a while, but it was one of those. It's summer. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm ready to quit this job already, dude. Like $20 an hour is not worth it.
Do any of you guys have any other stories with treating a customer like that, but you're in the right?
Not
right?
to that extent. I would have gotten fired the fucking moment it happened for me. My manager sides with the customers all the time.
That makes sense.
Not that extreme.
I think mine would have been. I think mine would have been different if it wasn't like if it was a paying customer.
Okay.
That would have
Yeah,
been way
that's true.
different compared to someone who's getting free. Like
Yeah.
they all were like, these guys are just milking it. They're getting it and they're giving it to their family, which is fine. But it's like, come on now, like you have to have some kind of boundaries.
There.
Entitledness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about a customer that was a dick to you? But you have many of those, Gavin, right?
I don't think there's a single day that I work where I don't get one of those ones. At this point, it's gotten to the point I just assume everyone's a dick to me.
Okay.
So it's like it just bounces right off me.
What
They're like,
a hard way to live.
they're just like they say something. I'm like, thank you. I'm just like, you have a good day now. Just give them that smile, like, yeah, I hope you fucking die, you little piece of shit. Like,
I actually met your guys' cousin. I actually really liked your guys' cousins because of a bad customer. Shout out Patrick.
Oh, okay.
So when we were working at Harkins,
Oh,
man,
The
this
movie
long
theater?
time ago.
Yeah, long time ago. Customer service, you know exactly what that is, Gavin. It's the worst. And it was a busy night, and this girl just like, I was irritable, and she got on my freaking nerves. And she just was, I was like, oh, you want some, butter flavoring on your popcorn? She's like, yeah, I want butter. I was like, okay. As I go to turn around, she's like, a lot of butter. Turn back around, oh, okay. I mean, like, a lot's butter. I was like, okay, like a lot. I was like, bitch, okay, like 4 times, I got it.
Don't they have butter for self-serve too?
Yes. And so she's like, I want like in the middle. I was like, okay. And then I was like so pissed off. I was like scooping. I was crunching her freaking popcorn, making it like all crappy. Then every time I scooped it, I was like putting butter in it. It's just gross. And I was like, Patrick's next to me. He's filling up his little random bag. And he just hears me mutter. I'm just like, I'm gonna make this bitch drink it. Then I'm just gonna make it a soup. And then Patrick's scooping his, and he's like, "Yeah, kill that bitch, kill that bitch." And then I turn, I was like, "I like this guy. He's kind of funny." And then the rest is history.
That's how you met
beautiful
him.
friendship was made.
That's how the friendship was
That's
made. I
crazy.
feel like that's the significant moment that it was made.
Wow.
And then I met these guys.
And then speaking of Patrick, you guys have interesting stories going on, don't you?
Mexico.
Mexico.
Jesus.
One word.
All right, so for the listeners, I don't drink a lot.
So far, every one of your stories has started with, so I was wasted.
Just adds on to it. Let's just say we got invited to go to Mexico with these 2 chicks. It's always 2 chicks and a guy. What the hell is going on?
Nice.
And so we're pretty high. These are. I'll show you later, Gavin. I'll show you
I
later.
look forward to
I
it.
don't want to say any names. They already know. And so we're high, man. This is like at the peak, like when we just started drinking, and we're like, oh my gosh.
Is this better than Gavin's strip club story?
I think so. Oh, I don't know. That's a good story. No, because the way he acted was really good. This is just funny what happened to me.
Okay.
So there might even be a thumbnail for you guys for YouTube with this story. All right, so we get there, right, and we get to Mexico, and as soon as we get there, we just start drinking because it's Mexico. You're supposed to do that at noon. And so I remember me and him were just like, we're just chugging down these beers. I'm like, oh my gosh, so much fun. Like I'm already buzzed. Like, it's cool. There's 2 hot chicks, and there's like the beach right there. And so the days are going on, whatever. It's a day full of drinking, and we end up going downtown to where it's like the strip, And I remember, like, these girls are cool, but in my head, it sounds bad. I was like, oh, I'm going to get them to give me some free drinks. Like, maybe they can score some drinks for us or whatever. I don't want to pay for stuff. Never doing any of that. So we end up going to this bar. We're all sitting down on some swings. 2 girls are to the left. Me and Pat are in the middle. I'm at the end, though. And these 2 guys sit next to us. And in my head, I'm like, I have this weird knack of getting free drinks from people. And I literally said to myself, like, you know what? They're all talking over here. I'm going to get us some free drinks. So I turn over and I talk to these guys. Found out that they're from Arizona. They offered me a job to drive a limo. Oh,
really?
No, it's a party bus. Yeah, because I told him I got my CDL. He has a party bus company. So that was cool. And I'm hyping up this crowd over here. I'm like, they're all teachers, blah, blah, blah. Let's just say 10 minutes goes by. He turns over. He's like, hey, do all my teacher friends want a shot? And I was like, finally, we got a free drink here. So we shoot it, whatever. Tell them, hey, we're gonna go to this bar now, and it's dead at this time. It's like just us, our group, and then random people. So we go to this next bar. We're drinking, and then all of a sudden the guys show up like 30 minutes later, and then these girls come around with these margaritas, and they hand each of us one. And we're like, what the hell? And she's like, oh yeah, those guys bought you something. I was like, oh cool, it's our friends. Another free drink, good for me. And so then we party with them, whatever. Then we end up going back. Now it's like midday, probably like 5. So sun's still up. And we're like, let's go check out the pool now. So we go to the pool, and I think it's just me and Pat. This time, I'm gonzos. I was the DD. And I was like, dude, I can't drive, bro. Like, it's all you guys. And so we get back, and I just remembered, man, all these videos I made, I just saw them, and it was so bad. That's how I remember that night. And so we drive back, and the girl's like, we're going to go to sleep. We're going to take a nap so we can get up to go out tonight. And we're like, cool, whatever. And then I'm like, Pat, let's go to the freaking beach, dude. Like, we're here in Mexico. Why not? Go to the beach. We walk down there, and we sit there. And I was like, oh, this is dope. And this is the first time it's ever happened to me. I black out for a little bit. I ended up, we both passed out on a beach in Mexico.
Blacking out on a Mexican.
I'm shirtless. Dude, I don't even know where my shirt went. So we're passed out on a beach, and we wake up to this Mexican family, like, staring over us and, like, speaking Spanish. And I'm like, what the heck? And then Pat's like, oh, we got to go. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, the sun's going down. That's, like, the most dangerous thing you could do is, like, pass out on a Mexican beach. And then we go upstairs, and then he's like, I'm going to jump in the shower. I'm all saying, I'm like, cool. And I go into the freezer, and I see this big old jug of a Fireball. I mean, this looks like a great idea. So they're asleep. He's in the shower. I go to the balcony. I'm playing my music. I end up, like, hanging on the other side of the balcony. It's 2 stories. I just thought it'd be cool. And it was. And I got a cool picture, right? So I'm hanging on the edge of the balcony, like, just, like, letting it, like, I just like getting scared like that, kind of. And so then I hop over.
Adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, adrenaline junkie. There it is. Thank you. So then the security guard's like, hey, you got to get over there. And I'm like, yeah, just hold on. And I take a picture real quick, and then we jump over. And then I remember, I think I hopped the bathroom. Patrick's taking a shower, and I'm taking videos, and Pat's like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're just naked. Like, he's covered up. But I'm like, dude, like, I can't show you guys those videos. But so I black out, and then I end up throwing up, taking a shower, throw up. Then we go out and we finish the night off, and I was dunzos. But in Mexico, I blacked out on the beach, and I hung over a balcony. And that was one of my coolest moments. And then I used that same story to tell a girl, like, a week later, like, just to tell her because it's a cool story. And this girl's like, oh, my gosh, that's so hot. And I wasn't into her, and I was like, yeah. And then I just turned it on.
Yeah.
I left.
Please.
I did. It was for Ryan's birthday. Brett remembers that. He was with me that night.
Shout out, Brett.
Okay, shout out, Brett.
That was my Mexico story. And then I got robbed the next time I went.
Mexico trip.
I was going to say, I'm surprised you didn't get robbed when you passed out on the beach.
No, we got robbed when we were sober. 3 times.
So, lesson
3 times.
make
Yeah,
sure you
that's
get drunk.
crazy.
More like
Wait,
extorted.
3 times?
Extorted.
3 times, dude. So we go, and it's me, our buddy Dylan, and my Theo in one car, and then we have a group of friends that includes Patrick in this car. And it's him and 3 girls. And so I think that had to do with it. I think that had something to do with it, right? So we get over, and as soon as we cross the border, they're like, search it. I'm like, great, whatever. So we get past it. If you've ever been to Rocky Point, there's like that first city. You have to be very careful. You can't, like, speed at all. If you go 1 mile over, they're going to pull you. Anything they can do to get you. So we make it past. And my Theo's like, oh, cool, let's go over here and get some road beers because there's a huge, long 45-minute strip that we have to drive. And he's like, we can drink it on the way to our apartment. So we get the beers. Thank God we didn't open them. Literally, we're following Pat, and then out of nowhere, this cop car pulls us over. And we're like, oh, fuck, great. And so the guy comes out, does the whole routine, and basically it's like, how much? And he's like, $200. It's like, all right, here you go. And I'm like, dude, and he asks, he's like, are those open? Because he's trying to get us for more. He's like, you either go into a cell and you see a judge at the end of the week, or you give us $200. So my uncle gives him, here's $200. And then literally 2 minutes later, he runs, and I'm doing air quotes, guys, he runs a stop sign. And then, boom, a different cop car. And it's two guys now. And in my head, we obviously have the cash, right? This is where Dylan fucks up. So we have this cash. Dylan's in the front seat. I'm in the back. And we're playing the game like, oh, we don't know. We don't have enough money, blah, blah. And then Dylan hears us say we don't have the money. And this boy turns over, does the opposite of what Ethan did, and he just pulls out his fat old wad of cash. And then he's like, oh, I got you right here, Theo. And then my uncle turns into like the centerpiece, and he's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. And so he takes, oh, okay, here we go. And that's like another $200. And at this point, we're shot. We're like, dude, my uncle's like, I don't want to drive anymore. I'm like, fuck, now I have to drive. And he just lost $400. And we're like, great. So we get there, whatever. It's fun. We're having a good time. We get on quads. We rent some quads. Our boy Dylan goes down, and I mean, he's down for the count. He it's a bowl. It's a bowl, Gavin. When you're going up a hill, you don't have to go straight up, correct? You got to go at an angle.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Okay, so he goes straight up, right? Quad dies. I'm like, great. So we'll go over and start him up. He's in a bowl. He doesn't understand. It's like it's concrete. It's like that slippery, like little sand. Mm-hmm. That boy turns like no other, and just straight out, boom, like earthquake, like crater in the ground. And I see it happen in slow motion, and I'm like, think about it now, it's really funny. I'm like, fuck. My uncle's a firefighter, right? I'm like, yo, we got to get over here. So he comes by with his bag. He's like, let me see. This boy's all like, he's got fucking road, what is it, road burn?
Road rash, yeah.
Road rash, there it is. And this boy's glasses just explode. He's gone. He's done, dude. So that kills that vibe. This is the next day. I'm like, dude, we can't catch a fucking break down here. And then, so we're continuing. It's about to be over. We're like, all right, this is the last day. Let's just go to the beach and let's get a banana boat. We're trying to get a banana boat for the last day. And so on our way there, I'm driving. And sure enough, there has never, ever been a checkpoint when we were leaving. There was a fucking checkpoint. And these guys were different. The first guys that pulled us over were cops. These dudes were all blacked out in like military. It looked like they were mercenaries. They had AKs on them. And I'm like, what the fuck? And of course, we're the first car in the line. And they see us. And they're like, come over and like pull over. I'm like, fucking A. So first guy's a younger dude. He's like, hey, like, habla español? And I'm like, un poquito. Like, not enough. Like, just speak to me in English if you can. And he's like, are you a firefighter? I was like, what? I was like, no. He's like, you're not a firefighter? I was like, no. I was like, he is. And then my uncle's in the back. And he's like, yeah, I'm the firefighter. And he's like, can you guys step out? And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? And then I realized he has firefighter plates. I don't know what that has to do with Mexico or anything. So we get out, and they're going to search the car. So we know what they're doing. They're trying to find something so we can pay them. And so we're chopping it up with one of the guys. He's cool. Well, we thought he was. And the first time, so we've been pulled over 3 times, never been searched. The 4th time we get searched, and my uncle has a pen on him. And dude, so my uncle got hit 3 times. And the dude's like, this is like 2 years or something like that. And it's one of those things where like, dude, we don't have the money. We have to go talk to our other car out there to see if they can give us some cash. And sure enough, Dylan barely had enough. We ended up leaving there with like $50 between all 3 of us. And we just paid them like $650 that whole entire trip.
Oh, I was going to say that one time.
No, the whole entire trip was $650. And they were even like, they're like, oh, do you have your fire license on you? And he's like, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, are you trying to put out a fire? Like, you need an extra guy? Like, he'll do it. He needs the money. Like, let's go. We'll pay it off that way. And at that point, we're like, dude, we're done. They try to get us to stay to go to the beach, and we're like, yeah, we're out.
Yeah, it's
killed our vibe.
not going to Mexico.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, I was so happy to be back in the United States, man. It's like, God, I feel so good to drive here and not have to worry.
Oh, man. Paul's got a ton of stories.
I do. A
Some
recent one,
stories like this weekend.
the recent weekend one. If you want to enlighten me, I don't know what happened. I called you
It's Saturday night, right? Yeah.
Saturday night.
Saturday night, Sunday morning
I'll
at
tell you how it started.
1 in the
He
morning.
was wasted, naturally.
1 in the morning. Paul's wasted.
Oh God, I was.
He
Okay. I was.
snaps me a video. Oh no, he snaps me a picture. He's like, "Dude, I'm so drunk."
Is that what I did? I was trying to think. Why did I call you? No
And then,
offense, but like, why did I face?
then I responded, and I guess it was, oh, you saw that response, so I'm awake because it's 1:30 or 2 in the morning.
It was.
So you FaceTime me, and you're like, "Dude, I'm so drunk. Look at your cousin," and Patrick's passed out.
Oh God, I said that.
We're like, man, this place is so cool. And I don't remember the exact details, but you just kept like going on. And I'm like, You're like, I'm so excited to be on the podcast. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be fun. The most memorable part.
There you go.
I've heard it both ways.
Okay. Which is the part that you remember, is you just showing me the hotel you were at and knocking on random doors and running away.
I do remember that part.
You're like, hey, look at this. And then he ran. I was like, oh my gosh.
dude. The best part was, I think was I shirtless at that time?
Yes.
I was.
You
Huh?
were shirtless.
That was weird because I woke up. I was in just like I was shirtless and I just had these exact same shorts on. And we had to share a bed with your cousin, and he's has a shirt on. He's in boxers. And then it was really awkward because the next day, like, the teacher knocked at the door and she was covering up the peephole. So I was like scared. I was like, oh fuck, dude, we fucked up. Like, we did something. I did something. And I opened the door and they're like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Because they just see like me, like the opposite. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on?
Because they're sharing an outfit.
Like, we had a night, all right. So yeah, that was a good one. I danced with two married women. They danced on me.
Say that a little louder.
These two married women sandwiched me, and I was
Nice.
Congratulations.
the best part about it was
Lucky.
is I was like, Patrick, what do I do? And I had this cowboy hat on, so like my face was covered. I felt invincible. and Patrick's like, fuck it, dude, because he's drunk too at the time. I'm like, you're right, dude. That's the answer I needed right now. It's what I wanted. And then we're good. And then we went and got pizza. We found a pizza. We were trying to help them get back, and then literally as we were trying to like sheep herd them, like sheepdogs, we were like, oh, pizza. And then we saw a neon sign. We just walked in. And I don't know how they got back, but they did. Oh, pizza. Yeah, I had buffalo chicken. 2 slices, $9. I asked the guy whatever he recommended. Went back up there, and whatever happened. Dude, by the way, Drunk Paul is super, super cool.
As opposed to the sober Paul.
No, he's just very responsible. I woke up.
He's very responsible. Passing out on the beach in Mexico.
Dude, but
knocking on hotel doors.
hear
You're
me
right.
out here,
Yeah.
bro. I had my contacts in, right? I took them out. I placed them. Everything was like nice in my suitcase. I had my jewelry taken off, like in the nice suitcase. Like everything was like I knew what I was doing.
You're doing it for future Paul.
And I get so dude. I see that to myself all the time. As I'm drunk, I'm like, dude, future Paul needs us. Oh my gosh, it's weird to say that. Holy shit,
Future Paul needs us.
dude. Yeah, it's like this weird thing kicks in, like the dad instinct.
The next morning, you go, oh, thank you, past Paul. Thank you, drunk me.
Paul.
Yes, dude. For those of you that know, I'm usually the dad of the group too. That's scary.
Oh, man.
Can't imagine how the other people are with you being the dad of the group with
Dude.
those stories.
I'm way better. Trust me, with them.
We should have Patrick on and have him explain his side.
Man.
No.
No. All right. Paul, is there anything else you want to add before we start wrapping things up?
Yeah, I think this is going to mark the longest episode.
Sorry. You guys.
No, it's been great.
No, I was
I
saying,
love it.
this was a great episode so far. I'm enjoying this.
Fuck, dude. I feel like I should say something. No, I think that's all.
You want to add anything you want the people of the world and Brazil to know?
Brazil.
Brazil's separate from the world.
Shout out to Brazil, dude. I heard about you.
You only heard about him?
Man.
Damn. Let's see. Nothing.
It's been great having you on here. One of my best friends, Paul.
Yeah.
Greatest companion I could ever ask for.
Yeah. Jacob's,
Sober or not.
Jacob's gonna be a part of my wedding.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Nice.
When's that going to happen?
When that married woman divorces her husband. Bro. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Cool. You want to get to the Jakey factuality?
I got the facts, and here's the stacks, boys. So The top 3 most popular drinks in the world.
Nice.
I'm sure you could guess at least 1 or 2 of them.
Water.
Number 3 particularly. Yes, water is number 1. Number 2,
It's bad I immediately went to an old fashioned.
no, like
beverage
liquids
in
to put
general?
into your body,
Oh,
Liquids
dang.
to put in.
not bar drinks. Anyway, water number 1. Number 2, any guesses?
Soda.
Kool-Aid?
Is it, if it's a soda, is it just
it
soda or
specific?
a specific soda?
No.
Okay.
Wrong.
Is it a specific or a broad?
Like a broad drink.
Wine.
No.
I would go with
Orange juice?
Tea is number 2.
coffee's number 3.
Number 3 is beer.
I was gonna say that.
Damn.
Number 3, most
Surprised
popular
coffee's
drink in
not
the
up
world.
there.
Beer.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't like coffee.
Beer makes sense. Coffee does also.
I did that in tribute to Paul's amazing stories and the many third most popular drinks that were involved.
Yeah. Shout out to
Yeah.
beer.
Shout out to beer.
This podcast is sponsored by Michelob Ultra.
It is not. We can get sued.
Not yet. I'm
Yet,
working on
Not
it.
yet. Reach out to us. It's oneeyedfitstudios@gmail.com.
Oh,
wanna reach
speaking
out?
of oneeyedfitstudios@gmail.com.
Speaking of, so we're gonna read last week's comment.
Oh.
If you leave a comment, we'll read it, and I have to read it. Yeah. So this
So
is
many
from.
comments I never sent.
Well, we're now starting to do it, but nobody's left a comment really in the past week.
Uh-huh.
So here is Wave GXD, Wave God.
It's the wave god.
Shout out Wave God. About last week's episode. Great episode. Enjoyed the guest stories, and your drawings look great, Ethan. I felt the same way about construction lines too, because I recently started drawing again. You know, Wave God? I appreciate that.
Oh, I want Gavin to be on when I
Thanks,
show him
baby.
these.
You're going to pull up the pictures or videos?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Or the girls that we went with.
Get us
Shout
into
out-
social media. when
Shout
you
out
can.
Wave God. We look forward to having you on soon when you want to be on. You know, rejected our last request.
Oh. It's all good.
Shame.
Broke our hearts.
Just kidding.
It's not for everybody.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
got to go
Make
with
sure to follow us on Twitter at OEF White Noise and at One Eyed Fits. Subscribe to our YouTube, which is at One Eyed Fits. That's where the podcasts are uploaded. It's just audio at the moment, but if we get to that 100 subscribers, we'll make sure to have at least video of Gavin's reactions and face,
Yes.
because that's part of the experience.
That's money.
It's the beauty. Yeah.
Takes me back.
We're available on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts. Probably somewhere else. I don't know. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment of your thoughts, questions for an opportunity to have them read on next week's episode. If you have any questions specifically for us, if you have thoughts, opinions, any ghost stories, we would love to read them.
Blackout stories.
Blackout stories, I guess.
It's a new segment.
Did you ever fall asleep on a Mexican beach? Let us know.
If you haven't,
If we can reach at least 15 likes, I'll reveal my blackout story for the world.
There we go. 15 likes on this episode, and Gavin will reveal
Blackout
his blackout
reveal.
story.
gotta make 15 accounts.
15 likes.
You are not allowed to use more than one account. Whoever is watching, you know who I'm talking about.
No, you can't prove that.
That's true. You can't. All right, Gavin, what's the song of the week?
Song of the week is going to be called Mine All Mine by Cashflow. The S in Cashflow is a $.
Naturally.
All right. What's the genre?
It's going to be like funk, like soul,
Funk.
hip
Let's
hop.
get funky in here. All right, cool. Be sure to tune in next week where we have yet another special guest. Paul, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Hope to have you on in the future. Any last minute
Love
ads?
you, Paul.
Nice.
Anything you want to add last minute before you?
I like the shout outs you guys give me.
Shout out, Paul.
Shout out, Paul.
Don't drink and drive, bro. I can't wait.
Solid advice right there.
I can't wait to be back on again. This is fun.
Responsible. Responsible. See?
Responsible.
That's what he was just saying.
responsible. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah,
Don't drink and
100%. Don't watch Encanto. That's
about it.
It is what it is.
All right, there we go.
My dog used to eat socks, and he used to shit them out, and I used to pick them up in the backyard. I just want to throw that
That's
out there
from
for
last
us.
week's episode where
Shout out Arisa.
We thought about naming him Socks after it. I'm not even kidding.
You gave that was that early? You didn't even have a name for him yet?
Well, I had a name for him, but he was eating so many goddamn socks that I was like, fuck. It was either that or no.
I have to change his name.
We kept saying no.
ate so many socks that he thought about changing his name.
Go get new socks.
Thanks for being on, Paul.
Really
Love you.
appreciate it. Let us know what you guys think of
Great.
Paul. Unless it's bad, then don't let us know.
Keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. All right. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to tune in next week where we have another guest lined up. Right now, we have to go show Gavin the Man in the Hat.